Hello, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is daily news analysis session. In this session, we'll be discussing some 5 to 6 important articles from various newspapers, and which will be very important from UPSC prelims, mains, as well as interview perspective. And date for today is 8th January 2025, and the first article is dealing with Net Zero Banking Alliance. What is Net Zero Banking Alliance and why it is in news? We'll be seeing this. Net Zero Banking Alliance is a United Nations convened bank-led coalition of leading global banks, which is committed to aligning their lending, investment, and capital market activities with achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. Their aim is achieving net zero greenhouse gas emissions, and their activities should also work in this regard. It serves as a climate focused arm of the United Nations Environment United Nations Environment Program Finance Initiatives Principles for Responsible Banking. That is what UNEP is, Principles for Responsible Banking. Then the key objectives are So the key objectives are transition, operational and attributable greenhouse gas emissions from banks' portfolios to align with net zero pathways by 2050 or earlier. And then set intermediate greenhouse gas reduction targets by 2030 or earlier for priority sectors with the further targets every year. Then focus on high emission sectors with their portfolios to maximize their impact. Then annually publish reports on absolute emissions and emissions intensity. Then use carbon offsets judiciously as part of transition strategies. Okay, all these are key objectives of Net Zero Banking Alliance. So the governance, it will be governed by a steering group, and the steering group will be composed of representatives from member banks, ensuring diversity in geography as well as business models. Okay, and then it is supported by United Nations Environment Program FI Secretariat with the direct United Nations participation in the governance. Okay, so it has a United Nations direct participation. Then compliance, it operates under governance guidelines updated in October 2021, August 2023 and March 2024. Member banks sign commitment statement binding them to a target setting and reporting processes. So it is a commitment statement and it is binding on the banks who are the members of this alliance. Then what are the challenges? It is in news recently because Wall Street has exited from this alliance. That is, several leading United States banks have exited Net Zero Banking Alliance, which is citing concerns over the compliance cost, potential restrictions on the operations, as well as challenges in balancing shareholders' expectations with the stringent climate-related mandates. Okay, because of all these reasons, many of the USA banks have exited from NZBA. This exit reflects broader tensions in the financial industry regarding the integration of sustainability commitments with profit-making activities. Okay, the aim of the financial institutions is profit-making, but the duty given to them by this NZBA is sustainability. Okay, so which is in conflict with their profit-making activities. That is why most of the banks have exited it. And what about India? Where is Indian banks, or where is India in this one? As of now, no Indian bank is part of Net Zero Banking Alliance, which is highlighting a potential gap in participation from emerging economies. Okay, which is not in line with India's Panchamitra model. Okay. Then what is the significance of NZBA? It acts as a global accelerator for financial sector's transition towards sustainability. It enhances transparency and accountability in banking operations with respect to climate goals. Then it aligns with broader global initiatives like Paris Agreement and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, All these are the significance of NZBA. So the recent development, that is major Wall Street banks leaving the NZBA, indicates the growing challenges of aligning climate action with the business imperatives in the finance sector. So moving forward, we should align our climate action along with the business imperative. That is, climate action should be in such a way that it is also profitable to the banks. Okay, it shouldn't be restrictive. Instead, it should be more profitable in the banks. Then the second article, it is from the science column of the Hindu. It is about how curiosity driven research into a worm won 4 Nobel Prizes. Okay, so there was a study on a particular worm which resulted in 4 Nobel Prizes. So this article tries to decode what worm it was and what was the discovery or why the people got Nobel Prize in this one. Okay, in the introduction, the tiny nematode, the worm is the tiny nematode Cynorhabditis elegans. Okay, Cynorhabditis elegans has been instrumental in groundbreaking biological discoveries which has resulted in 4 Nobel Prizes. Okay, so Cynorhabditis elegans is the worm on which discovery has resulted in 4 Nobel Prizes. This versatile model organism has revealed general principles with the parallels in the human biology. Okay, and then humble beginnings of C. elegans research. So initially, the research on C. elegans was in 1963. Sidney Brenner proposed using C. elegans as a simple model to understand development of biology and neurobiology. That is, they use the C. elegans as a sample before testing it on the human beings or before testing it on the another organisms. You can use this C. elegans as a simple model and you can test on this, and then you can use this in the human body. Okay, human bodies. Then Brenner's approach aimed to define the unitary steps in any given processes using the genetic analysis. Okay, that unitary step was starting with C. elegans. Then his meticulous guidances of the worm's growth conditions remains vital to modern research. So Sidney Brenner's early research is vital in even today now. Okay. Then so the Nobel Prizes were related to pioneering discoveries using C. elegans. And the first one was in 2002. It was of cell death and 2002 Nobel Prize. Robert Horwitz and John Sulston, they discovered genetic regulation of programmed cell death. That is, death was genetically programmed. Okay, we still have mysteries about how death happens, why the aging process happens, but the study by Robert Horwitz and John Sultan, sorry, they discovered that genetic, that is, death is a result of programmed cells in the body. Okay, they get activated over a period of time. As a result, it results in death and aging. Then their work demonstrated that cell death is genetically controlled, influencing development and diseases. Okay, then second Nobel Prize was for miRNA and gene regulation, which won the Nobel Prize in 2024. It was done by Victor Ambrose and Gary Rukun. They identified microRNAs in C. elegans. Okay, we already know that DNA exists. Now they were able to identify RNAs, and that too miRNAs. mRNA is different, miRNA is different. mRNA is messenger RNA, which is normally used in genetic therapy. Okay, whereas miRNA is microRNAs. This RNA regulates gene expression by turning the genes off. Okay, this miRNA is important whether a particular phenotype or whether a particular character is expressed on the body or on the physically expressed or not. That like expression was regulated by miRNAs. Okay, this discovery overturned the central dogma by showing RNA's role in the controlling gene expression. That is, before this, RNA's role was not very much considered in the gene expression, but with this discovery, they were able to see that RNA does have a role in expressing a particular gene. Okay, and then aging and genome sequencing, that is Michael Klaas, Tom Johnson, and Cynthia Cannon found that gene regulation impacts aging and lifespan. Okay, so they were able to study this using this elegans again. Then sequencing the C. elegans genome in 1998 provided the insights into human genetic resources, research contributing to Human Genome Project. Okay, this elegans has also been used in studying the Human Genome Project also. It served as an inspiration for conducting Human Genome Project. Then green fluorescent protein discovery, that is, it was discovered by Osamu Shinomura's identification of GFP revolutionized biological research by enabling fluorescent tagging of proteins. Okay, so they were able to tag the proteins using fluorescent. This was initially done using C. elegans again. Okay, and finally nervous system mapping. Okay, that is Brenner and colleagues mapped around 302 neurons of the worm's nervous system, offering insights into neuronal circuits and behavior. Even the neurological study was also on the basis of C. elegans only. So that is why C. elegans, a simple worm, has played a significant role in genetic research and medical research in human history. Then, what are the applications of C. elegans in the modern science? That is versatile model. That is, C. elegans is very simple, and C. elegans simplicity allows researchers to link genetic changes with observable phenotypes, and then its contribution extend to disease studies including cancer, neurodegeneration, and aging. Okay, and then future implications hold. Continued research into C. elegans provides insights into genetic therapies, drug discovery, and understanding fundamental biological processes. All this can be studied with a simple study of C. elegans. That is why the key takeaway of this is the success of C. elegans as a research model lies in its simplicity, versatility, as well as genetic accessibility. And then these discoveries underscore the importance of curiosity driven research, demonstrating that major advances often arise from unexpected findings and simple findings. Okay, so this was a simple article, yet very important article, and very knowledge driven article, you can say. So there can be simple questions asked about C. elegans, or simple questions about gene expression, whether there is a role of RNA in gene expression or not, and simple questions on neurological mapping, etc., etc. Then third article, it is from editorial in the Hindu. It deals about the rebounding of Pakistan's Afghan strategy. Currently, Pakistan and Afghanistan's Taliban are having a turmoil. Both are in conflict with each other over the boundary and etc., etc. As a result, this article tries to understand the relation between Pakistan and Afghanistan and how Pakistan's Afghanistan strategy is backfiring on them. Okay. So, on December 27, 2024, Pakistan's Inter-Services Public Relations reported the elimination of 925 Taliban Pakistan terrorists in 60,000 intelligence-based operations with a significant loss of security, Pakistani security personnel. Okay, they were able to kill around 925 TTP, that is Taliban Pakistani terrorist. And then, despite Pakistan's efforts, its Afghanistan strategy remains mired with complexities, primarily due to its historical support to the Afghan Taliban and Haqqani network. Okay, if you study the old history, and especially the Cold War time period, Afghanistan, okay, during in the mid 1980s and 1990s, Russia, that is USSR or Russia, was trying to conquer Afghanistan. They were fighting with Afghanistan, and as a Cold War issue, USA started supporting Afghanistan. USA started supporting Afghanistan by creating Afghan Taliban, and in order to gain a regional support, USA also took the help of Pakistan. So both Pakistan and USA were able to support Afghanistan, and these Afghanistan terrorists were able to pull or push back Russia, and Russia was unable to conquer Afghanistan. Okay, so that support of Pakistan during the Afghan Taliban period is backfiring on Pakistan itself, because since there is no Cold War nowadays, since these Taliban terrorists or Taliban fighters, as they say, claim them to be, don't have any common enemy, they are looking towards Pakistan as their enemy. Okay, now, so, what are the key dynamics in Pakistan's Afghan strategy? First and foremost is historical involvement and support. That is, Pakistan has provided logistical, military, and moral support to insurgent groups like Afghan Taliban, leading to increased internal threats from TTP. Then, Pakistan's own policies have backfired as TTP now enjoys safe havens in Afghanistan, allegedly with the tacit Afghan Taliban approval. This TTP, which came out of the support of Taliban, which instead came out of the support of Pakistan to Taliban, is now backfiring against Pakistan itself. Now they are working against Pakistan itself. Then recent escalations include in December 2024, Pakistan conducted airstrikes on the TTP targets in eastern Afghanistan following deadly TTP attacks in the South Waziristan. Then Afghanistan retaliation included drone strikes and attacks on multiple locations in the Pakistan, which is escalating tensions further. So, what are the challenges in Pakistan's Afghan policy? That is misguided assumptions. That is, Pakistan's reliance on Afghan Taliban as a strategic asset has proven counterproductive, with the Taliban prioritizing its own agenda over Pakistan's interest. Okay, Pakistan was a long-standing supporter of Afghan Taliban, hoping that Afghan Taliban would be supporting Pakistan in the different strategies. But now, since the like withdrawal of the like American troops in Afghanistan, Afghanistan Taliban, that is Afghan Taliban, is prioritizing their own self-interest over Pakistan, and one of their self-interests includes support to TTP. Okay, this aspect is being counterproductive to Pakistan. Then efforts to portray the Taliban as allies have led to domestic insecurity, particularly with the TTP's increasing aggression. Then geopolitical fallout, that is Afghanistan's refusal to recognize the Durand Line, which is the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, reflects a deep-rooted mistrust between the two nations. How India and Pakistan have a Radcliffe Line, Pakistan and Afghanistan are Durand Line, which was also drawn by the colonial Britishers, but the Afghanistan do not accept Durand Line as a border line. Okay, that is also another issue. Then Pakistan's alignment with the Taliban has strained relations with the West-backed Afghan government and global power, further isolating Islamabad diplomatically. Okay, since Pakistan is supporting Taliban, it has reduced its relation with the Western-backed Afghan government. So Afghan government is now out of the way, but Afghan government was backed by the global powers. Now Pakistan is only left with Taliban, but now Taliban is looking after its own interest. So Pakistan is now isolated. Then internal struggles as well as regional implications, that is domestic security crisis. Pakistan's domestic security is deteriorating due to the frequent TTP attacks and a failure to curb cross-border military. Then Taliban's recapture of Kabul in 2021, once hailed as a triumph in Islamabad, has worsened Pakistan's internal crisis. Okay. Now, strategic failures include Islamabad's Pashtunistan puzzle remains unresolved, with rising ethnic and regional tensions threatening national stability. So, Pakistan is not only suffering from the TTP or Afghan Taliban, it is also suffering within the Pakistan due to ethnic and regional tensions. There is a demand for Pashtunistan and there is a demand for Balochistan in the southern Pakistan. So there are many insurgent groups, there are many insurgent movements happening in Pakistan, or separatist movement in Pakistan also. Then Pakistan's fixation on using Taliban as a leverage against India has diverted attention from more pressing security challenges. Okay, Pakistan's anti-India strategy has now has come back to haunt Pakistan itself now. Then, so what should be the way forward according to the other? there is a need for strategic realignment. That is, Pakistan must abandon its obsession with the Afghan Taliban as a tool for regional influence. A comprehensive strategy addressing both internal insurgency and regional diplomacy, excuse me, and regional diplomacy is very essential, and collaboration with the global powers, that is rebuilding ties with global players, particularly the United States, is crucial for countering the military and stabilizing the region. Then Pakistan must prioritize securing its borders and eliminating the militant safe havens. Okay, through this, Pakistan can bring about Afghan strategy and can also maintain its peace with the Afghan Taliban as well as its border skirmishes, and it can reduce the border skirmishes. Afghans, Pakistan's Afghan strategy has turned into a vicious cycle of insecurity and failed diplomacy, exacerbated by the Taliban's non-cooperation and growing domestic threats from the TTP. Without a significant shift in the strategy, Islamabad risks worsening its internal turmoil and further alienating itself in the global stage. So, there is a need for Pakistan to reshape or change its Afghan strategy. Then, another article, this article or this editorial was present in Text and Context of the Hindu. It dealt with drop in school enrollments. The article read, why there are drop in school enrollments. Okay, so according to the article, the overview of drop in enrollments includes, the Unified District Information System for Education Plus, that is UDISC Plus report for 2022-2023 and 2023-24 highlights a significant decline in the school enrollments over by 1 crore students compared to 2018-19. Okay, there has been 1 crore less students who are enrolling for the school. Then total enrollments in 2020-23 stood at 25.18 crore, dropping further to 24.8 crore in 2023-2024. Okay, so there is a drop in total enrollment of around 1 crore students in over 3-4 years. So according to this article, the reasons behind the decline are methodological changes. That is, Ministry of Education noted that 2022, 2023 and 24 UDISC report are not strictly comparable to earlier years due to changes in the data collection methodology. They say that this is because of the change in data collection. New methods implemented since 2023 include a school-based mobile app to verify student enrollment figures, unlike the earlier practice of relying on school declaration. Okay, earlier you were relying on the school declaration. School were voluntarily declaring how many students are enrolling and how many students are attending the class. Now this has to be attested, or this has to be accounted by school-based mobile app. Okay, as a result, the government says that, Ministry of Education says that this discrepancy of 1 crore students is because of the change in methodology. And there can also be structural and operational changes. That is, that there is a decline of schools covered by UDSC has been observed from 1,58,000 to 1,41,000. Okay, so there is loss of 87,000 schools in the schools covered by UDSC report. Okay, that can also be another reason. So most of these were government-run schools. The closures may result from mergers, shutdowns, or insufficient infrastructure. Because of these reasons, the schools covered by UDSA this reduced. Then reduced incentive for enrollment. Now, fewer students might be enrolled due to changes in scholarship programs or reduced benefits under the schemes like Samagra Shiksha. This can also be a reason. For example, rupees 32,325 crore allocation under the scheme in 2020-2024 might have impacted education incentives. Okay, and then what is the impact on affected regions? The most affected states are Jammu and Kashmir. It lost around 4,500 schools, the highest among the states, and other affected regions include Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra. Either there has been a reduction in the number of schools, or there has been a reduction in the number of schools covered by UDISC report. Then, and what will be the impact on students? Students from closed schools were required to readmit elsewhere or risk dropping out, especially in rural and underprivileged areas. That is what severe impact on the students. That is, they had to either shift to another school or drop out of the schools. Then the key concerns and insights is the role of data accuracy, that is, efficiency indicators like dropout rates and retention rates were recalculated using the new methodology. As a result, there is a discrepancy. Despite the improvements in data collection, the decline in student numbers reflects ground realities that students are not willing to come to the schools, and there is a reduction in the number of schools which are run by the government as well. And the policy implications, that analysts suggest revisiting the policy implications for school infrastructure and resources, and strengthening right to education provisions, ensuring schools exist within a kilometer of all habitations. Okay, so these should be the way forward in order to ensure enrollment of students. Then next article is about Alakananda River, which is a vital Himalayan head stream. It is in news because a recent IIT Roorkee study identified the Alakananda River as the most vulnerable to landslide-induced natural dams in the Garhwal region. Okay, the river's geographical setting, steep terrain, and heavy monsoon rains make it prone to landslide activities, posing risks of natural damming and subsequent flooding. Okay, so this is the report. As a result, it is in use. Now we'll just understand the geographical significance. Alakananda River is one of the two main head streams of Ganges River, originating in Satopat and Bhagirath Karak glaciers in the Garhwal regions, Garhwal Himalayas of Uttarakhand. Okay, and then it travels approximately 190 kilometers before uniting with the Bhagirathi River at Devaprayag, where it officially becomes Ganga. Okay, first it is Alakananda and Bhagirathi. Together they form Ganga at Devaprayag. From there, Ganga starts flowing, and then Gomti, Kosi, Kali, etc. Nadis goes on joining. And from here, Yamuna River will also join Ganga at the Allahabad, Prayagraj, and Yamuna River itself has Chambal, Prabara, Ken, Betwa, Subarnareka, etc. Rivers are also this one. That is about Alakananda River. And the tributaries of second confluences of Panchaprayag. That is, the river merges with 5 major tributaries, and their confluences hold religious importance. Okay, there are many prayags. First one is Vishnu Prayag. Vishnu Prayag is the confluence of Alakananda and Dhauli Ganga River, and Nanda Prayag is the confluence of Alakananda and Nandakini River, and Karna Prayag is the confluence of Alakananda and Pinda River, and then Rudra Prayag is the confluence of Alakananda and Mandakini River. You have to don't get confused here. Nanda Prayag is Nandakini, Rudra Prayag is Mandakini, and then Deva Prayag, which is the confluence of Bhagirathi River, which is revered as a birthplace of river Ganga. Okay, and then Ganga and Yamuna will collide at Prayagraj. But major prayags are these 5: Vishnu Prayag, Nanda Prayag, Karna Prayag, Rudra Prayag, Deva Prayag. Okay, then the cultural and pilgrimage significance of Alakananda River is that Alakananda River Valley is an integral part of Chardham Yatra, which is a sacred pilgrimage circuit that includes Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, and Yamunotri. So very significant and holds a significance in cultural aspect. Major pilgrimage sites along its bank include Badrinath, which is one of the Chardham temples, then Hemkund Sahib, a Sikh pilgrimage site, and then Joshimath, which is a spiritual hub, as well as it was also news because of glacier lake outburst. Okay, Joshimath landslide and outburst. So it is a cultural and critical freshwater source, which is culturally and ecologically significant as well as religious significant. So it's vulnerable to landslide. Highlights there is a need for sustainable management and disaster mitigation efforts to protect the surrounding communities. So very small article but very important. Then another article was from the Business Standard. It dealt with India's coffee exports surpass $1 billion for the first time. That is, India's coffee exports in 2024 calendar year witnessed a significant growth of 45% in dollar terms, reaching an all-time high of 1.684 billion compared to 1.160 billion in 2023. Then coffee production in India. Coffee was introduced in India in 1600s by Baba Budan, who planted 7 seeds in Chikmagaluru, Karnataka. From here, the coffee production in India started. Then Karnataka is the largest producer, contributing 70% of the total, which is followed by Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Over 70% of India's coffee production is exported, making India the 8th largest coffee exporter globally. Coffee thrives in tropical and semi-tropical climates with the temperatures of 16 degree to 28 degrees Celsius and annual rainfall of 150 to 250 centimeters. It requires ample sunlight as well as heavy rainfalls. Okay, the plant grows best on the well-drained slopes with the laterite soils, especially in Karnataka. And the major varieties cultivated include Arabica, Robusta, Liberica. And Arabica has a higher market value due to its mild aromatic flavors. Okay, and then the Coffee Board of India. This was a prelims question way back in 2022. So these boards are also very important. The Coffee Board of India plays a crucial role in promoting the Indian coffee industry by focusing on export promotion, domestic market development, and improving production and quality standards. Okay, and so another note is the Coffee Board of India is a statutory body which was established in 1942 under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and headquarters is in Bangalore and consists of 33 members, including chairman appointed by the Government of India. Initially, it managed the pooled supply and marketing of coffee until 1995. After economic liberalization, coffee marketing has become a private sector activity. Now it is no longer under the control of Coffee Board. So now it has reached 45% more. What is the reason is coffee prices reached a record high in 2024 despite due to poor weather conditions in major coffee producing nations like Brazil and Vietnam, leading to increased global demand for Indian coffee. Okay, this is very important. This is not directly related to India's growth, it is related to fall in somewhere else, that is Brazil and Vietnam. The anticipated rollout of European Union deforestation regulations norms promoted advance purchase by European buyers, including roasters and traders, boosting demand for the Indian coffee exports. This European Union deforestation regulation norms most probably are going to affect Brazil and Vietnam. Okay, because under these norms, if you are deforesting or if you are cutting down the forest with the aim of producing coffees, then we are not going to purchase coffee from your country. Whereas in India, we are not cutting down the trees to produce coffee. We already have a sowing areas where we are sowing this one. So India becomes better suited for these regulations compared to Brazil and other nations. Then a 37% increase in the unit value per ton enhanced the overall export revenue, driven by higher global prices and better quality of Indian coffee. And then efforts to strengthen relationship with the traditional buyers like Italy, Germany, while expanding to the emerging markets such as UAE, helped to diversify export destinations and increase overall volumes. As a result, Indian coffee has witnessed a significant growth in the exports. So this is about today's news analysis. If you like the video, then please hit on the like button and also comment on it and share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.